What if I told you that everything, everything, every tree, every animal, every human, every cell is connected to you right now? And what I mean by that is that what you do to the planet, you do to yourself. Today we dive into the truth of our interconnectedness, backed by science, ancient wisdom, and some really smart people. This is more than a belief. It's biology, it's ecology, it's science, and it's soul. Nature isn't made up of parts. It's a system. When you pull one thread, the whole tapestry moves. Same with our bodies. Here's an interesting fact that happened. Yellowstone wolves case study. In 1995, when wolves were reintroduced to Yellowstone, they didn't just control deer populations naturally. They changed river flows. Less grazing led to more vegetation, which stabilized riverbanks. This phenomenon, a trophic cascade, shows how one species can change an entire system. According to a 2014 study in Global Environmental Change, the Earth's ecosystem provides $125 to $145 trillion a year in value through services like pollution, clean air, water purification, and climate regulation. Services no human technology can replace. What's the point? When you understand nature, when you let nature do her thing, it provides, it is abundant, and it balances. When we poison a river or burn a forest, we're not just hurting nature, we're weakening the very system that sustains our life and every life that is on this planet. You are not a single being. You are also a living ecosystem. Your body is home to trillions of microbes and bacteria, fungus and viruses that regulate digestion, mood, immunity, and inflammation. This shared life is called a holoboint, a concept proving we're ecological beings ourselves. The planet is a system. Guess what? We are a system. The more we sanitize and isolate from the natural system, from the natural microbiological environments, the more we suffer from allergies, autoimmune diseases, and mental health disorders. This was a study in 2012. Being disconnected from the natural ecosystems that we live on and generate life from in our bodies and in the planet, in our bodies creates an internal imbalance. What we do to others, the animals, the people, in our ecosystems resonates back into our psychology, our hearts, and our souls. Period. Research from Stanford shows that walking in nature reduces rumination of the brain, a key driver to depression, and improves prefrontal cortex. This was a study in 2015. Quote, nature exposure literally reprograms our brain towards wellness. When we witness suffering in others, even animals, no matter who you are, our brains activates regions related to our own pain. This is called mirror neuron resonance. And it's the basis of empathy and morality. Quote, the harm we allow in others doesn't stay over there. It imprints itself on us, biologically and spiritually. Animals are not resources. They are their own beings, feeling and thinking. The Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness in 2012 states unequivocally that non-human animals have the capacity for a conscious experience. This includes mammals, birds, and even octopus. Beyond ethics, factory farming is linked to antibiotic resistance, zoonotics disease passed between species, and of course, blasting more emissions into our atmosphere. What we do to animals, we do to our bodies, our climate, and our future. There is no separation. Long before science, indigenous cultures lived with this deep understanding of this sacred interbeing of life. Lakota teachings, Mitákuye Oyás'iŋ. That means all are related. I said this for years when I studied with the Lakota tribe. Mitákuye Oyás'iŋ. Every day, all the time. It's an expression that we are all related. This isn't just poetic. It's an organizing principle of how to live in respect and reciprocity with all of life. On modern science side, quantum physicist David Bohm spoke of the implicit order, the interconnected order, which all beings are enfolded into in one whole biological system. When you choose to care, when you plant a tree, rescue an animal, share some random acts of kindness, you're aligning with the web of life, literally and figuratively. And that web then holds you in return because you're with the system and not against it. You know, these are things like when you buy your food. Choose biodynamic, regenerative agriculture, know your local farmer. Eat lower on the food chain. Nuts, seeds, grains, legumes, lettuces, all of that stuff. Refuse plastic that chokes you and it chokes the wildlife just by being around. It is a bigger view of understanding this pollution and how detrimental it is on all of us. And choose kindness and action, not just thought. And of course, that goes with the clothing, the personal care items, all the food containing chemicals and materials that are harmful for the environment by the production of them and harmful to your environment by the use of them. These disrupt you. They disrupt life. These things like parabens and phthalates in your shampoos, your lotions, your sunscreens, your cosmetics, they disrupt your ultimate communication system of your body, your endocrine system. Isn't that a clue? They interfere with your hormones, leading to the very fabric that you then can't get pregnant, leading to all of us having reproductive issues, developmental problems, and increasing cancer. A study heightened that teenage girls who switched to products free from these chemicals saw a significant drop in their body's levels of xenoestrogens within days. Formaldehyde is everywhere. It's hidden. Personal care items, preservatives. Exposure has been linked to allergic reactions and cancers. You've heard me talk about this, so I'm talking about it in a bigger and broader sense, but also very acutely within your system. We need to have an indigenous but real interconnected view of our life and the world. Reductionism and isolation never works because it's divorced of the systems. Systems are here and they're already telling us how they work. So if we flow with the system, like the sun, the circadian rhythms, drinking clean water, having healthy relationships, that's flowing with the system, not divorcing it. So you can take a broader view, not only not harming yourself, your children, and your pets, you can be a conscious consumer. You can support sustainable fashion. You can reduce electromagnetic fields, which are not assimilative to us or nature, which is why they cause stress responses in the body. Thousands of studies have shown this. Yes, try to grow as much food as you can. choose organic, choose regenerative, understanding, lower the ultra-processed food, which is 100% the other direction of supporting the system of life. Beyond physical and biological connections, many traditions and philosophies perceive the earth as living, a conscious entity, meaning it is a system, a living system, whether we are here or not. The Gaia, the earth, thrives, and it knows how to thrive. An amazing action-oriented philosopher, Rudolf Steiner. He said, the earth is an organism. Steiner proposed that the earth is not merely a physical body, but a living body imbued with a soul and spirit. He emphasized that recognizing this living essence, we don't have to understand it, but recognizing that the earth is a living essence is crucial for us to thrive on every level, and especially not cutting off our morality so that we can thrive up the ladder to our spiritual expression. In Steiner's view, us, humans, are integral in the earth's being, participating in it, evolving. Actions, thoughts, and spiritual development change the overall ecosystem that we are a part of in this web of life. Another term, anamandi, that originated from ancient philosophy. The concept of anamandi refers to the world soul, suggesting that all living beings are interconnected through a universal spirit. And of course, the Gaia philosophy. Scientist James Lovelock's Gaia hypothesis postulates that Earth's functions as a self-regulating, living system, maintaining conditions conducive for life. If that wasn't true, we wouldn't be here. So that is absolute fact. This perspective aligns with the ancient views of Earth as a living entity that all indigenous cultures acknowledged and lived by. Some of that philosophy of Steiner's was biodynamic agriculture. Agriculture practices can either disrupt, which we're seeing the agro industry and factory farming philosophy absolutely destroying on every level. You can see it. It's all here. You know when you look at something and you know it's out of sync with the living systems. You know that. You know that deep inside. Biodynamic agriculture, inspired by Steiner, seeks to align farming with the Earth's natural rhythm. What a concept. Just like us. Go to sleep with the light, wake up with the light, get good sleep, drink good water, eat whole food, put your feet on the ground, get the sun with no chemicals, all of that stuff. So holistic farming or biodynamic agriculture treats farms as a self-sustaining ecosystem. Less and less inputs so that system itself is just thriving within itself, emphasizing soil health, biodiversity, and also Steiner brought in cosmic rhythms. It integrates spiritual and ecological principles to produce food that actually nourishes our body and our soul. The approach encourages farmers to develop a deep spiritual relationship with the land, recognizing that the interconnectedness of all life and all life forms and the earth's is not only vital, it's a must. Individual actions and consciousness does play a pivotal role in nurturing our bond with the earth. That is mindful living, engaging in practices where you're becoming still, meditation, journaling, go for a walk in nature, be mindful of each step. Sustainable living not only fosters health in your environment, but it creates a deeper connectedness to yourself with deeper awareness as well as the interconnectedness that you have with all beings. Incorporating nature-based education. Steiner created the Waldorf schools, helping individuals, especially children, develop a profound, deep respect and understanding of this very valuable world. See, the thing is, every choice we make sends a ripple through the web of life. Whether you want to grok that in your little mind or not, just be open to that reality, because that reality is this living system that we are flying through space on. It is doing a thing that you can't comprehend so that you can sit back behind your screen and watch this or listen to this on your phones. A miraculous thing. You're sitting here flying around, and we want to isolate the ego. Our tyrannical ego wants to control everything, wants to reduce everything, wants to disconnect from everything. We can't get rid of the ego. So any guru who has ever said that is absolutely wrong. But when we put the ego in check, humbled by the reality of our heart and our inner knowing that we live in a system, we are a system, and every choice literally does matter. It sends this ripple. But understanding the hidden costs of our choices really starts to hit home. The problem is we don't realize the acute effect that we are having. The thing is, every choice we make, we may not realize the acute effect on our hearts, on our souls, and our bodies. But added up over time, you're generating life or you're cutting it off. We empower ourselves to make decisions that honor our health and our planet, or we don't. Let's choose wisely, live consciously, and embrace the interconnectedness that binds us all. It may give you a greater sense, a deeper sense, a broader view of every choice you're making, every food that you're putting in your body. Does this align with the interconnectedness of life? Does this give me life, or am I cutting it off? Every choice matters. Every act of kindness or no kindness matters. You have a powerful effect of what you're consciously doing with your ecosystem. And your body, your little body running around in its little ecosystem has a very powerful effect on the entire world. Whether you can grok it in your head or not, the reality is it is absolutely true. How do you want to live your super life? How do you want to thrive? How do you want to feel so good that every choice you're making is conscious, interconnected to yourself, to your heart, and you're doing the best you can? It feels so good when I make a choice that I know, hey, I'm eating this lettuce from the garden, and that soil gave life, and those photons from the sun gave life to that lettuce. And within 10 minutes, I'm having a salad that was directly from Mother Earth. Okay, that's it today. Enjoy it. I hope you got something from this. But maybe just to step back from the isolated, panic-filled world, that you can understand, you know what? Everything is a system working to help you thrive. I guarantee it. Even when it's hard, even when things that you didn't want to have happen happened, I guarantee you it's evolving always towards an extraordinary opportunity. Peace. Love you all.